recently saw some pictures of FOUR TET using a Korg ER-1 in his live set, and this really caught my attention for two reasons. One, why the hell is FOUR TET one of the biggest producers in the world at the moment using a drum machine made in 1999? And two, because this was my first drum machine. I bought it when I was 17 off eBay for a whopping £65, and I've still got it. I absolutely love this drum machine, but I haven't really played with it for probably more than 10 years. So what would take someone like FOUR TET back to it now? Can it still hold up in 2023? What I found out was really interesting. I think a lot of my current sound is actually due to this drum machine, and it's definitely still interesting. So let's dive in and see what kind of sounds we can make with it. So let's power this thing on and we can start to get an idea what it's about. It has this big dial in the middle which you use to skip between your presets. So you can have, I think there's 4 banks of 32 presets that you can write over, save all your own things. So it's really performable because it means mid-performance it will keep the same tempo and just roll on to the next loop. Nice. I think this is where my love of like messing with delay times and depth really came from. It's probably responsible for most of my music that I've been making ever since. Really horrible crash sound though, isn't it? Use this as a starting point because there's not really anything going on with it and we can build a new beat around it. So I'm going to delete all of these and then let's just 4 percussion synthesizer voices, and then of each of those you can edit these controls. So there's an oscillator, and then you can modulate the oscillator. So you can see there's like a velocity envelope. There's noise. There's like a random stepped sample and hold, and then a few different LFOs. Remember when I bought this, I had no idea what any of these things were called. I was just playing around with these. So it's really good, like hands-on way to learn the basics of synthesis. Just dialing in this envelope. And then there's a low boost as well. So, let's get some of those in. For a snare drum, we'll just use another one of these synthesizer voices. So take that down. This time we'll modulate it by noise. Give that a bit of a low boost as well. Closed, open, crash and hand clap are all the closed, open, crash and high clap are all samples. Really low quality samples, but I sort of like it when you like down pitch them and use that as part of the sound. So you can record some of your hand movements. I think it's only for one of these at a time. I mean, you can see how like on the go you can really quickly like hammer in something that's really cool. It's also got these two audio inputs. So what I'm going to try doing next is feeding another drum machine in those, and then we can choose when the sound from that drum machine cuts in by using these on the sequencer. Here I've got the MFP 522, which is basically an 808 in a tiny little box, fully analog close. So I've got a bit of a groove going on the Electribe, and I'm just going to use this to let sections of the MFP 522's drum loop through. I like that, but maybe it's a little bit too loud. See how it's really like, it's capable of making some really cool sounds. I think what it really is testament to the fact that like you can, if you make the UI for something like hands off enough and easiest to grasp, then people will be able to find the coolest sounds. Can sound a little bit thin. Needs to be shoved through like some big analog circuit or a tape saturation or something.